Welcome back, dude and dudettes, to another wild episode of Send It Mate. We're here to talk about all things hunting and outdoors. And today, we've got something that'll keep your gear running smoother than a dingo's getaway.
That's right. Our show is brought to you by High Caliber, the gun and knife oil company that knows how to keep your firearms and blades in tip-top shape.
High Caliber is like the secret sauce for hunters, anglers, and outdoorsy folk everywhere. It's like the magic potion that makes your gun and knives happier than a dog with two tails.
You know, guys, I've been using High Caliber oil for a while now, and let me tell you, it's the duck's nuts. My rifle practically sings a lullaby when I take it out hunting.
And speaking of lullabies, ever tried sneaking up on a deer with a squeaky gun? It's a prime way to end up with no venison in the freezer. You'll be hungrier than a vegan at a bacon festival.
Absolutely. But with High Caliber oil, your gun will be quieter than a ninja in moonlight. You'll be stalking your prey with the grace and stealth of a mountain lion.
High Caliber doesn't just keep things quiet, it also prevents rust and corrosion, so you won't find your gear looking like it spent a season at the bottom of a creek.
That's right, and for you knife enthusiasts out there, High Caliber has got you covered too. Your trusty blade will slice through anything smoother than butter on a hot biscuit.
So, folks, don't let your gear become a rusty, squeaky mess. Head on over to highcaliber.com.au and grab a bottle of their oil today.
And if you use the code SENDITMATE at checkout, you'll get a special discount. I say again, use the code SENDITMATE for all your oil slick, stealthy hunting needs.
Thanks to High Caliber, you'll be sending it in style and silence.
So, gear up, oil up, and send it, mate. High Caliber, the ultimate oil for the ultimate hunter.
Get keen, dudes and dudettes!
Josh.
Wait, that raw on our intro, I'm like barred up.
Josh. My gosh. You got
I haven't
fired
seen
up.
this Josh in a while.
You're fired up.
I'm actually tired.
Overtime.
That raw, I'm like, man, I miss that. I miss hearing that raw when you are out bush, your hair just stands up, goes all prickly, and you're like, oh, yeah.
Tis getting to the season.
It is. Oh, it's like Christmas, but for men.
Mate, I like the energy you're bringing this evening. Would you like a second hit of the red?
Oh, yes, please.
Ooh, listen. Oh, there it is. Just vinegar strokes.
Shit.
What a combination, actually. Do you reckon you'd like to die hunting?
With a jizz in your pants.
No. Like, people talk about the way they want to die. Like, how would you want to go out? Would you want to die?
Do you die
on a
of
hunt? Would you want to die on a vinegar stroke of ejaculation? Like, right on the, and just pass away?
What about both? On the vinegar stroke on a hunt?
After shooting a 20
Pull the trigger and drop
With your dick.
the dream animal. No, actually, no, you wouldn't want to die. You want to see it mounted on a wall first.
Because, you'd probably die like, Josh NDs and just shoots me in the back, and that's how I die. It's not something like, you shoot the biggest red in your life and you have a heart attack because of the actual fact.
Look, I could think of worse ways to go than out bush hearing croaks or roars. Like, to be honest, man, the feeling that I get, it is, and we've covered this before on the podcast, it's better than sex.
We have, actually.
Yeah, we have.
That was a while ago.
I think I disagreed.
You did.
I did. But I'm just better at sex. So.
Or you've had better partners, one or two.
Well, I do now. That is the politically correct answer.
Yeah.
100%. I've never been more happy than I am right now
Good.
with my current partner. My fiance, in fact. She's lovely.
Ooh. But dead set. I could die like that and die a happy man, hearing a red roar.
You're just lying in the bush and you can just listen to the reds roar and then you just pass away?
Yeah.
If you die before me and I have to be present at your funeral,
Okay.
which we've also discussed in the potty, you will probably die before us.
No.
Yeah, the way your body's going.
The hard life you've led. we can play a soundtrack of your choosing, and if that is Reds roaring,
actually, no. I'm not going to be cremated, but if you could just take my body,
can we be taxidermied?
Yeah. Look, if one of you wants to keep me in your house, I like the lounge room by a fireplace.
No, we'll chuck you out with the Reds. We'll put you up on a tree, and then when everyone it's becoming known as just the
I mean, this is morbid but humorous at the same time. But
it is. But if you just took my body out there to listen to Reds in the middle of a rut, like I'd just be, I'd be in heaven. I'd be like, yeah, boys.
Before or after cremation?
No, I'm not getting cremated.
So I got to carry a corpse around.
Yeah.
In the bush.
Yeah.
That's why
I'm only not getting cremated to make your life harder for this. This
How about we just embalm you and keep you in like a see-through container in the bush?
Oh.
And then you can posthumously just stare out into the bush and watch all the animals go by.
I like that.
And I might even install a trail cam in your eyes.
Oh.
So I can view what you're viewing. I don't know. This is weird. This is super weird.
I'm just picturing other hunters walking past and just thinking it's a stump or something, turn around and it's just Josh standing there in a glass cabinet.
Just this gnarled, tiny little fetus-sized body floating around.
But I'm going to tell you it'd be a happy fetus-sized body. Oh, man. Honestly, like Cody's, like just how everything played out last year, like beautiful mountainous country.
Nice to get red.
Yeah. And then the fog like laying over and roars just like left and right everywhere. And you just, like, I still remember it. Like I went to go towards one sort of sound and then another one would roar and I'd turn around and I'd be like a little kid in a candy shop. I'd be like, which way do I go? Which one do I go after?
Yeah, you have no idea, like, because one sounds closer than the other.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I'll go for this one. And then you're like, you're just unreachable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess it depends on the direction of roar that they're doing.
In a way, I was lucky that I only had one direction I could go because the majority of the roars were across a fence in a state forest, so I couldn't go that way. And then the other one I ended up shooting was the other one I heard.
Your track record, I reckon you would have thought about it.
Thought about it long and hard.
See, actually, that's probably, and this is where I think like it's a little like those monster trophies. It's a little bit of luck because, I mean, imagine if you could have crossed that fence and as you're moving up, you're hearing
probably would have gone towards them because it sounded like there was 2 or 3, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. So you're chasing that sound and then suddenly you miss out on the big one. So fate almost could say that you were channeled in to go one way. Maybe. You got an opportunity, though, at a different stag, didn't you? So you still made a choice. And that
because that was the first stag that you let go kind of thing. Wasn't there a first one or was that a doe that came out first?
Oh, the doe came out first, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a stag.
No, it wasn't a stag. A doe came out first and then the stag, but then after I shot mine, a second stag ran across as well.
Okay.
I didn't see him at all.
Okay. I thought the doe was a stag.
You shot at the first stag. Yeah.
Hey, I'm happy with the one I shot.
I would be.
Anyway.
I would be.
100%.
It's a thing that people a lot of people never experience, like that pre-dawn, going on dawn soundtrack of Reds roaring. Oh, man, something else.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah. It is prehistoric, to say the least. You feel so small and insignificant around it. I've actually said this to my missus. I said, if like the whole coming back as an animal was a thing, it's not. But if it was, you know what? I'd be a red. I'd want to be a red.
So I can shoot you.
I couldn't care, man.
I'll shoot you, mount you on my wall.
You give me one good rut, you know, when I've got a good set of antlers, like you shoot me. That's fine. But I'm going to roar my head off.
Well, we're responsible hunters and take the meat, so I'm going to eat you as well.
That's not the first time you've eaten me.
Oh, Josh.
What the fuck?
You can't tell everyone that.
What the hell, man?
Fuck. If you come back as a deer, Josh, you'd be a cullbuck for sure.
That's right.
The way your body is.
That's all right. As long as I can make some noise, I'm good.
You know those memes of the fellows having sex? It's just like one thrust, and it's just like, ooh.
Yeah.
That's how I imagine you do it now, anyway. So it's probably, yeah, I imagine you would come back as a deer, actually.
That's all I need to make the girl happy.
Just one good,
thrust.
solid pump.
Boom.
It's efficiency, I'll give you that. German efficiency.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
You do
to
have
hear
German
it.
in you, don't you?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's the German efficiency coming out.
You got Aboriginal in you too, eh?
No, that was a joke at deer camp
I
from
don't
my
think so.
father, who is the politest man. So when he said it, I was like, "What? Are you for real?"
He's also
it's
the whitest man ever.
yeah.
But it came from the old man, so I believe it.
Look, if it was true, I'd be 100% claiming land rights somewhere in the southeast.
You could have used an extra 10 minutes on all the tests at school too, let's be honest.
Yeah, this is true.
I don't even know if that's still a thing. If anyone out there knows, like...
What?
Was that a thing?
Yeah,
Did they get extra time?
It was a thing, having extra time on tests.
How much of a, backstab? Backstab, that's the one. How much of a backstab's that, really?
Well, is it?
Well, as if you're saying they're stupid.
At least took a turn.
I think it was more focused on actually encouraging them to finish education, or the fact that, or highlighting that they're disadvantaged, therefore they need extra time. I don't think it was a thing about brain capacity. You've made it that now.
Yeah,
So.
now that's in everybody's head.
It's kind of like the COVID stuff. Remember how they did the press release trying to encourage the communities getting vaxxed, and the way they actually sort of did it is kind of like talking down on them a little bit. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Actually, do
you remember that?
I don't remember that. All I remember is the video. I think it was WA, and one of the politicians over there was doing an announcement about COVID, and then they had an Aboriginal lady off to the side doing the Aboriginal interpretation of that, but it was just broken English.
It's very much similar to what he was saying, but then it's just like you mob and
this is English still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just a bit weird. I think we're talking about the same thing.
I think it was more about buy-in. Like, there's someone who speaks like us saying it, therefore it must be true.
Why don't you just get I'm sure there's Aboriginal politicians or someone representing
their most
government.
Definitely is.
Pretty sure that was
why don't you just get them to do the actual... Yeah, why don't you get them to do the press release rather than having that weird translation thing? It's just like, just seems off. Anyway, I was turning this into a...
It's not going to a politic route again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's get back to deer.
Back to hunting, Josh.
Thanks.
Apologies, Josh. I just spilled my drink on Josh.
How'd you go with your most recent hunt, Josh?
Yeah, good actually. We were out at Flinders, and it was hot. It was stifling, actually. Look, it's a nice place out there. It's about 1 million acres. It's beautiful.
Or where you were?
Hey?
The Flinders itself, or where you were?
Well, the Flinders is a large place, and it's more of an area. The Flinders Ranges covers a lot
property
of
he
South
was at
Australia.
was a million.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not going to say exactly where it was.
Oh, I don't expect you to.
It was,
Do you understand the Flinders Ranges? They're massive.
yeah. But
They're huge.
Yeah, but so hence why I'm asking. Does he mean the entire Flinders is 1 million acres, or does he mean where he was hunting?
Do you understand 1 million acres?
Like, it doesn't mean... Acres don't mean much to me. Like, square kilometres, I understand.
Can tell.
Acres and hectares, I'm like, what is that? I've never owned property.
look, like to give you an idea, so from the start of the property to the shearing quarters, it's about I'm not going to say Ks because I'm going to get it wrong, but you're pretty much about an hour.
He defaults to Ks as well.
An hour to get there, and that's like an hour of me driving. So you guys probably like 45 minutes.
Yeah, because you putt along in your Hilux.
Yeah.
Oh, you got D-Max now, man.
Yeah.
You got the more range of motion in the throttle.
I do, especially after the throttle controller. Highly rated.
How good is
Did
a
you
throttle
put it in, did you?
controller? How good is a throttle controller?
Yeah.
I would hate to see my work here without it.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh, I've tried it
because it's kind of sluggish.
Yeah, but it was good. So we get there, do the usual things, unpack, whatever. Maybe have a few cheeky brewskis of water, H2O, and
that's an oxymoron.
Is it
a brewski of water?
Yeah, well, that's a brew still. Not that you brew water. Well,
I'm not sure. Yeah, that's not a definition of brew.
Brews are slang for a drink, really.
Look, just be upfront. You're drinking or you're hydrating with some water. You're drinking.
Beer's got water
responsibly. That's what you got to say.
All right,
we had some brewskis.
We're having some warties. Some warties. Anyway, head out.
Warties.
So this property, we're mainly there just to shoot roos. We're allowed to take a few goats for meat and that. And the last couple of times I've been up there, I've taken quite a few goats just to bring back, and they taste amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. A lot lean lamb, delightful, and everyone that's ever had it, that from the family, they always go back for more. Anyway, so having said that, the first few times that we've been out there, we've seen camel tracks, right? So this half goat cull roo cull / getting some goat has turned into a bit of a venture for camels, and we've never seen them. Like, never seen them.
Camels blend in so well.
Yeah, to be honest, it's ridiculous.
Surprisingly, for such a large animal.
Yeah. So this time we sort of went with the idea of, all right, let's try and concentrate a bit more on camel and try and work them out, which I don't know if there's a theory apart from water, because, man, they travel. They travel a long distance. So where we first were going for the camel, or tried to look for the camel the first few times, was on the opposite side of the property. And then where we've got a camel this trip, one of our mates did, was, the complete opposite way. And you're just like, okay, these things are moving, like doing some Ks during the day.
Oh, and they'll be just trotting as well. They're just
yeah, and feed, like it's super dry out there too. So they're going where the feed and the water is. And if that's a helpful tip, I guess, if anyone's going to go camel shooting, try near water to start with. Like, definitely, especially
probably
if
a
it's
good tip for any sort of hunting.
Yeah.
If it's dry, go to the water.
What's the regulations, restrictions, camel wise? They're a pest, obviously.
Yeah.
I think there is a restriction.
There's no restrictions on them. It's just a pest animal.
It's a lot of meat.
Look, to be honest, it was my first time cutting up a camel, and this thing was ridiculous. I thought reds, were big, and I thought our sambar was big. Nah, this thing was ridiculous. So I pretty much just cut all the legs off and the back straps out, right? We had to get a winch to hold the leg up whilst I was cutting through.
Freaking hell.
Yeah. So that one of the station manager pulled his cruiser up, got the winch out. Yeah. Oh, it was ludicrous, to be honest. I'm like,
you should have done.
And I've seen camels before. I've ridden on a camel. Like you go up to the nature reserve. Where is it? Just up the road.
Yeah.
You can pat them and things.
Back in the day, down bloody Victor Harbour, you could go for a camel ride.
Yeah. So it's sort of like you've seen them before, but you don't really fathom it until you cut one up.
Yeah.
I imagine they stink. Do they stink?
Look, so this was a bull, and I'm pretty sure it had started challenging the alpha and got booted out the herd because he was alone. And they're obviously a herd animal, so it's like, okay, something's happened here to boot him out the herd. And he did. He smelt like absolute piss. And this was a worrying thing because cutting him up, so I brought all the meat back home. I couldn't get to it that night, so I've topped up the ice. And the next day after work, run in, cut it up. And I'm cutting it up and I'm like, ooh, this is a male and I can smell him. Still, this is a few days later in total with the hunt. I'm like, I don't know how this is going to eat.
Do you feed that to your family?
So I did. So every Saturday steak night, so we do a steak make it a bit of a thing, garlic bread, a few wines or whatever. And Nuno was like, all right, we'll do the camel steaks this weekend. I'm like, okay, can we do a trial during the week just to taste it, see if it's okay? And we didn't. So we get to Saturday and she's got them defrosting and cooking, like, by the time I get home. I'm like, oh, okay, and I could smell them still. Anyway, on the barbie, or on the Weber, I should say, because it's more than a barbecue, it's an experience.
Man, are you getting a commission from them or what?
I wish. Anyway, we're all tucking into it, and it was divine. Like, I'm telling you, it was tender, and it yes, it was a strong flavour, and you could tell it was a male over a heifer.
Okay.
It was a mouthful.
Ha, ha, ha. But, man, it was delicious.
I've had camel in a stew before. That's it. But it was amazing in that.
Yeah.
I've had camel off the barbie. That's it.
Yeah.
Like once.
Same. And it's nice. But it was the sole fact that it was a bull, and I was a bit worried. I did buy a whole bunch of snags, like when I got home, to go with dinner just in case it was no good.
The old backup snag.
Yeah. But everyone ate it. Everyone loved it. We had it in a stew. What's the dish that's like mushroomy? It's like a mushroom sauce.
Oh,
not Rogan, Josh.
Like beef bourguignon. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, I got
stroganoff.
Stroganoff. Yeah, I like a stroganoff. And that was even better. And it was tender, man. Actually, cutting the back straps out. The back straps were pulling apart.
Yeah, nice.
Yep.
So, cutting up a camel, what are you dealing with in the old wang and balls department?
Look, I did.
You always labour the point about what you do with them.
I did cut the nuts off, and I did look at.
What are we talking? Give me a fruit.
Pear.
Pear? Couple of pears?
Jesus.
Pear, maybe
is that a pair for pair
one,
each, or is that a pair for both?
No, it's a pair for both.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 pair.
Some large tests.
2 pair, yeah.
2 pair. I cut it out, and the station manager was there, and we were all, beer and high fives at this stage. And I pulled it out, and I said, "Oh, you ever tried Rocky Mountain oysters?" And he's looked at me, and he's like, "No," and he's just leant down, and we've got a photo of him biting the nut raw.
Oh man!
Oh, it was good. It was good. But other than that, no, I didn't cook it.
How much meat you get off it? Do you know how much? Did you kind of weigh it or not?
Not kilos, but I had 2 large eskies. I think one was a 40 litre, the other one was an 80 litre, and they were full.
So, did you have any? The other guys have any eskies? Was it just those 2?
No, so we didn't take the whole lot.
Because the station guys are there. Yeah.
So that was just what I brought home. You could got so much more off of them, to be honest. So a little bit wasteful there, I guess, on our part. But we were fighting the heat because it was like 43 degrees. So in my mind, it's like, get this out, get it on the ute. We didn't have an esky with us. So it was like they're on the tailgate whilst we're driving half an hour back to the homestead to put on the refrigerator because it wasn't on to put them in.
Gotcha.
So it was just like, nah, we got to get these back ASAP. And then the refrigeration container, because it obviously was battling the heat, the 40 degrees, didn't really get cold either. So it was more like a dry aging for the few days that it was hanging.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the hump. What's it? What's in it? Is it just all fat?
It just looked like fat, man.
Really?
Yeah, just looked like it. Yeah. And there is a thing with camels. So the bigger the hump, the healthier they are.
Was it us talking about that, or did I see that on YouTube somewhere where if you're hunting camel and it's got fuck all of a hump, just let it be because there's no point killing it because it's struggling.
I can't remember.
So if it's got no hump or the hump's diminished to pretty much nothing, then it's having a hard life trying to find food. So the eating worthiness of it would be shit.
Yeah.
But so if there's one with a hump, one that's not, take one with the hump.
It makes sense if it's a fat storage.
Yeah,
area.
I'm just Googling it now. It says that camel's hump stores fat, not water. Camels use this fat for energy when food is scarce. I swear as a kid, they're like, oh, camels can go for ages without water because of their hump. But it's...
I think they're pretty resilient with it, like
Water
water
anyway.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Helps insulate them from extreme temperatures. Camels are tall and narrow, so storing fat in their humps instead of around their sides means they're exposed to less sunlight and heat. That makes sense. Does that mean fat people can deal with the heat easier?
No, because they're wider, so they get more sun.
Yeah, that's true. The size of a
like how
camel's hump can indicate how healthy it is. A well-fed camel's hump won't droop or look deflated. Now, what are the ones we have here? Are they dromedary, or are they Bactrian? I think they're dromedary, aren't they? One hump?
Yeah, one hump.
Yep. There you go. Camel's hump changes depending on how much food it eats. Was it a healthy camel?
It was, and I do have a photo of the hump actually that we cut off because one of the boys wanted to.
Do we have a photo of the whole camel, like before you started cutting her up?
We do.
Him up.
I'll have to vet these images.
What do you mean? Oh, as in
Instagram shadow baron.
I'll just have to vet them. I guess.
Sure.
We'll ask some people if they're happy for it to go up. I guess.
Oh, so you don't have just the photo of the camel alone?
No.
All right, well, let's not make promises. People, you're not seeing the fucking photo probably.
If you see one,
90% you won't see the photo. Just Google
We'll
camel.
just Google a dead camel.
And just imagine what Josh did when he cut it up.
Yeah.
Just imagine Josh cutting up a camel.
Look, it was an experience. I'd do it again, but I would rather do it in winter because 43 degrees.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Man, and let's face it, when you're out in these sort of places and it's 43 degrees, you might be having a few more warties than what is necessary.
Can we not? Warties is not going to take off.
Oh, warties is taking off.
Can you? No. What is warties?
Warties.
Like it reminds me of warts.
Are you referencing those two fucking ginormous bitches who are called sodies? Is that where we're getting this?
Yeah.
Warties.
Are you calling it warties? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm
warties.
calling alcohol warties. Well, that's not that hard to get your head around.
I'm not
I'm not
on board.
I'd rather call it brewskis.
Brewskis, brews.
It's actual alcohol.
Beverages,
don't call water brews.
Bevies.
Mate, I ain't incriminating nothing.
Cans.
Just
something normal.
Couple of
warties.
No.
Not a few warties.
Because warties just seems like the fucking weird lumps you grow on your skin. Warts.
How about you let us know? Who agrees with Josh? Let us know. Chuck us a
Is warties going to take off?
I think you're making it.
I think it's going to
a
take off.
bigger subject than
it's.
what it needs to be.
This is a discussion point because I don't think this is going to take off just in the same way that frothing nuggets never took off.
Oh man,
yeah,
even you've given up on it.
I hear people say it all the time.
Froth nuggets,
frothing some nuggets.
Because I've never heard someone say it other than
outside of your household.
Because you're not cool. Yeah, I even have the T-shirt, mate. Froth nuggets. Somewhere. It was a good shirt. But anyway, let's get back to the topic. So
camels.
Yeah, you're
hump.
Look, little bit too maybe intoxicated to be cutting up a camel in 43 degrees.
The shooting's done. The guns are away. Now you're just getting into your work, cutting up a camel.
Yeah, you've down 6 drinks before cutting the camel.
It's hard work. It's 43 degrees.
Doubles.
Yeah,
that would suck though.
It would suck. And the flies, I imagine.
Actually, there was a breeze, so the flies weren't an issue, and I wasn't concerned about them at all, to be honest, because of the breeze.
Shirts off?
No, it was, man, I would have burnt like anything. So
you could drive up to the camel, couldn't
you? Yeah, we drove up to the camel. Thank goodness.
Yeah, okay. So
because they use the winch on the fucking thing to hold the leg. Why don't you drag it under a tree?
Well,
drag it. Oh, but
there's got to be
in a vehicle.
There's got to be trees out there to drag it under, mate.
So you're in a literal desert with no coverage.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, he's in South Australia.
This is where you need a vehicle with an awning to work under.
Look, that would have been good.
There you go.
That would have been very good. And a humble 308 dropped it too. So,
mate, no one in this room is going to knock a 308.
308 can do anything.
It can.
Except shoot like 2 miles.
Yeah, well, that would be difficult.
Accurately.
Yeah. Transonics, what, 14? Maybe less.
1400, I think, yeah.
Around there. Yeah, that'd be difficult. But the little humble 308 did it. And
was it you or was it someone else?
No, it was someone else. I didn't shoot it.
Okay.
So,
chest, what's 1 shot, 2 shots?
So one dropped it, and it went through the shoulder, actually. And then one of the boys put another round in its head, like going up to it.
Just for good measure?
Yeah. Well, it's like obviously hit vitals, but by the time they got up to it, it was still sort of bleeding out. So, yeah, they've just put it out of its misery. Actually, something that surprises me. So, as I'm cutting it, like cutting the meat out, one of the other boys cut the jaw out, like caped it. Not caped it, just really cut because I said to him, the skulls are worth like $600. And this is
Camel
before
skull.
I got told. What? Yeah, this is before I got told that one of the boys put a round in its head. So I was like, get the skull because I'll boil it out, bleach it, and sell it. And anyway, he's cutting it out. And I now know why camel skulls are desirable. The teeth, man, on these things will blow your freaking mind.
Real camel skull, a skeleton. Now, a skeleton's $4,000. A skull, depending on the inch size, it could be $100 to, it's really $100, $130.
$600 is what one of the contractors is selling them for, and he will load up his ute with them and sell them all for $600.
Dromedary camel skull replica, $549.
Well, this seems right. I'm on an American site, Skeletons and Skull Superstore, and a Bactrian camel, male, $393 US. Dromedary, $549. That's a replica, though. What the fuck?
I'm telling you, that's like from a dude that sells them and makes good quid out of it.
Like, but a real camel skeleton, $4,000. Like, what do you reckon you have to do to make that saleable for that price?
Way more than $4,000 worth of work.
Who's buying camel skulls?
Because they look weird. They're very popular.
It does look weird. I'll give you that. Have a Google out there.
Now everyone's going to flood the market with camel skulls.
So you can buy, like, there's other camel skulls for sale, and they're like $75 to $200, depending on. I don't get how it's $500, but then maybe it's not Australian.
This is a lucrative industry. Like, I'm on another US website, and there's like wholesale, there's gradings of them, $108 each for a B grade one.
Yeah, US $393.
Yeah, man.
In stock.
Oh, 18-inch one hump camel. Skull with lower jaw, craft quality for $109.99.
$4,500 for a skeleton package.
You're really labouring the point about that whole fucking skeleton, aren't you? Do you want one or what?
No, well, I'm seeing the options, aren't I?
Anyway, it's different.
That's cool.
It's different. It's cool.
I'd put one on my wall. And the teeth are amazing. We're going to actually make like the old necklaces out of the teeth. So
it does look cool.
Yeah.
Because it looks like a
not $600 cool, but it does look cool.
Hey, but if you shoot one yourself,
yeah,
you'd display it, wouldn't you? I wonder what price you get for one with a hole through its head.
It has a story.
Yeah, I don't know.
Talk to me about the fat content. Could you, for example, in a survival situation, chop off their hump, render your fat down,
consume their fat,
use a lot of the fat?
Because it's fat, yeah, you can render it down. I don't know if it tastes well. Did
you get any fat on your steaks?
We did. That tasted like okay. It wasn't bad. To be honest, the flavour of the meat was still strong, and I think if I could have hung the meat for like a solid week and it was cool, the wall for a solid week or two, and get it cold straight away, it would have been a nicer flavour, like toned down a little bit. The fat was insane. One of the boys did want to render the hump, and I'm like, we did take the hump with us, but that got thrown out because it was just a large exercise.
Yeah.
And when you have no room for the meat you've already got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that actually got me thinking about doing something with the ute, either getting a bigger fridge, proper fridge to do it. But then you're like, getting say an 80-litre fridge or something like that, getting it out of the car to then clean it after it's just got meat dumped in it. I'm like, look, an Esky's better. And then you start going down the rabbit hole of Eskies because every Esky that I've ever used, apart from a Yeti, have been subpar.
Guess what, Josh?
What?
Camel fat is used for arthritis, back pain, and nerve pain. We've been right up your alley.
Well, thanks for telling me now.
No worries, mate. You know now. So I suppose it was really good for you.
Okay, next time I won't waste it.
Used for cosmetics, moisturising properties.
Actually, the missus did something when she was talking about moisturising to negate stretch marks when she was pregnant. And that was olive oil. She used olive oil on her belly, and it worked.
Yeah, but she's a wog, isn't she?
Yeah, like full wog spec. There's like special creams you can buy, like anti-stretch mark creams.
Okay, this is a natural way of doing it.
Natural?
And olive oil only costs, what, $4 for half a litre?
What olive oil are you buying? Freaking hell.
Yeah.
I haven't bought olive oil for a long time, but I'm presuming it's cheaper than cosmetics.
Yeah, yeah, that's
probably,
to be fair. Actually,
did it work though?
Is it?
Did it work?
Yes, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just slightly distracted. I'm Googling fridge trailers at the moment because I'm thinking that would be the ideal thing to have on a hunt.
Looking at $110,000 truck.
Especially for a camel. I've been wanting to do like...
That's 18.
Get one of those. They're expensive.
A camel or a truck?
Fridge trailers.
For the camel.
It'd just be cool, like on a hunt. You just shovel your meat in there and get as much as you could possibly get.
And you get it home and it's running by itself as well. So, you can get home and you can have that evening when you get home to just chill.
Yeah, you can do it the next day or whatever.
Yeah.
Hire a store. No, I want to hire a fucking mobile cool room. Chili Billy. Chili Billy.
I think I looked at one of them a while ago when we were going to do a hunt essay.
Give me a price, not a quote. Motherfucker. You can't just look up a price. You need okay, hang on. Maybe I can quote it instantly.
Don't think they're cheap, though.
What do we want? We want a barbecue trailer with icebox. No, we want what do we want? An igloo? Let's go with medium. A medium fridge trailer, $205 a day. Right? Say we hire it for a week, $430. So
look, you'd be wanting to fill that thing to the brim for that.
3-day hire, $250 for a medium trailer, fridge trailer, 2.24 by 1.33 by 1.85, so 5.5 cubic meters.
Get rid of them shelves. You could, and get some racks in it. You could, which they probably do.
How you powering this thing?
Jenny?
That's a bit Jenny.
Jenny on the front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the Jenny or is that the air conditioning?
Oh, that's the refrigeration unit.
Unless it's plugged in your car?
No, it's not 12 volt. There's a Jenny on the front of it. It sits on the drawbar.
Mm-hmm.
But if you filled that, that's worth the $250.
If you filled it. So you'd want to jam that thing full of deer.
So you'd want to be like, if you go on a hunt, right, and you know where to get these things locally, then if there's deer everywhere, you shoot your first deer, hang them up, and then you go get this trailer because you know you get more.
Mm.
But you wouldn't take it out with you just cause, I reckon, unless you knew or you owned it already.
Unless you're confident in the property, yeah.
Or we just need to find a second-hand one of these for cheap or do a 3-way split.
That'd be ideal. But I'm not driving a clean.
Store it.
It'd make no sense for me to do a 3-way.
Come on, man. Where's your sense of?
We went 3-way on the generator, supposedly.
Which I've never used.
Yeah,
I didn't
we actually we have.
No, then you absorbed my.
I know you haven't because I know. Yeah, you've chipped in.
I chipped in, and then Shannon absorbed my portion because he owed me money somewhere else. This is a weird concept.
All I'm hearing is one of the blokes came out in this split for the Jenny on top.
Probably the guy who's got it in his possession, to be honest.
Yes.
He's got 6 other people to chip in for it, and he just uses it all the time. He won't listen to this, so it's all good.
No.
I'd really like one because it would make life a lot easier. And you could take something that size, you could hang the whole carcass. So you can use it all.
Or at least a half, yeah.
Anyone who wants to know what we're talking about, go on chilibilly.com.au. Not endorsed, but we've just Googled this on the fly. Well, yeah, you can just hire like a fridge trailer.
So
has anyone done that before?
Ah, that's a good idea.
Like if you like a group of like, yourself and 5 other mates or whatever, go out for a hunt.
That's a good question.
Chasing red deer, why not? It would make sense.
If you know you're going to get under a few. Because it's such a fucking hassle, like car fridges, filling it or getting ice, all that bullshit.
Well, esky, the worst thing about esky is no one's made a simple like a wire frame that puts the meat above the ice level and the water, like, when it obviously melts, the water line to keep it dry. Because that's the biggest thing I have with eskies personally is the meat gets wet. And then as meat gets wet, that's the fastest way to grow bacteria. So as we all know, hanging a deer at deer camp, I would personally say if you're like looking at 23 or under with a breeze, like you can get away with it. It's not ideal. If it was under 18 degrees, yep, cool. You'd be all right hanging it. But then you're putting it in a box essentially to get it home. By the time you get home, it's melted and you've got water on a dry carcass.
It's the only time
maybe we need to come
wet. Come on.
What it does, it goes green.
Embrace it. You're the going in dry man.
Look.
Since season 1, episode 2.
Look, it's a frustration and I dislike it. I've even thought about using the big tuna or fishing bags instead of an esky. And then I learned something the other day from a friend of ours, Richie. Shout out, Richie.
Friend.
He's like, next time, man, just wet a towel and put it over the esky. I did not know this.
Hang on, what?
It helps with the insulation.
Well, naturally.
Well, yeah, because when water is evaporating from the towel, it creates a cooler environment.
It's basically the same principle as a fridge.
Yes.
There's towels in fridges.
Yeah.
Well, not a fridge.
Do you hang your towels over your
evaporative
fridge?
air conditioning, rather.
Yeah, correct.
Sort of thing.
Well, yeah. And that's why, like, if your meat is getting a bit warm during the day, you can just give it a wet down and it'll evaporate and it'll cool the meat quicker. Give me a wet down.
You can only do that if you've got a breeze. If there's no breeze, I would be like, don't put any water on your meat. And actually, meat eaters do a good podcast, have done a good podcast recently or a good film or whatever about this.
Episode?
I can't remember if it was a podcast or whether it was a show. About they get like some hooroo guru chick about, essentially
wet meat.
Yeah, wet meat.
Wet meat
and she goes into it and she's like, you don't ever want to put water on the meat at all. Like, you need to avoid it in all circumstances. But we've all been with guys that have put water on it, but they've got a breeze and it's been able to evaporate that water. Wow, man. Water and meat's got you going.
We've all been with guys that have put water on it.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's funny, though. I hope everyone else is finding this funny.
Hey.
So the camel's done. You got the camel back, but did you shoot anything else? Was there any more hunting?
Yeah, we got a few more roos and a few goats. The goats that we shot were just sickly.
Ew.
So it was more just like, all right, let's just kill them because they look like they're about to die anyway.
Done him a favour.
So that was about it. They did do a big muster actually. So as we were driving into the property, you got like all the homestead and all your yards out the front, and there's just this like about 150 billies, just all rounded up in this pen, and you're like, oh, okay. Some of them had some nice heads, man. I'm like, oh.
Just shoot one and drag it
out. So I'm like, oh, there goes a 40-inch out there. But
so at least you did some hunting.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same.
Look, it was definitely a spur of the moment thing, and I got the 3rd degree from my missus when I got home because, like, I couldn't be stuffed the next day in the evening dealing with this, and I got home a little late.
Yeah, because you didn't wet your meat, mate.
Yeah. And she's just looked at me and she's like, "You mean you spent 3 days away and you're not bringing anything to the table?" I'm like, "Okay." Look, I respect you for that, but I really, really don't want to do this. But I did. So we've all been there. You know, as I said, you get home that night of the hunt. You know, you unload everything, and you're like, "Yeah, I'll deal with the rest tomorrow." Then tomorrow comes, and you're like, "Oh, I can't be stuffed."
Yeah, I don't think you ever really feel like doing it. It's only really good once you eat it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Once you consume it.
It's a lot of work. People don't realise. To do it properly, not just shove hunks of meat in the freezer and actually process it.
Yeah.
I feel like if you had a processing station, so if you had a place set up where it's just dedicated for that, it'd probably be a lot more enjoyable because you have room to move, you have room to position stuff.
See that?
But if you're just trying to get by, it sucks.
That hunt we did where Ryan brought his vac sealer and we were processing meat, cutting up, and we had a production line going.
Yeah.
That was cool because you can have a few brews, talk a bit of shit. Ryan's on the end of the line putting meat in a bag.
Dry meat in a bag.
And you've just got vac sealed meat ready to go.
Yeah.
That's ideal.
But then you have to make sure you sort of process that properly.
Look, it wasn't as hygienic or clean as it possibly could be. And months later, when you open those vac-sealed bags and one of Ryan's pubes is popping out, it's not ideal.
Look, you definitely got to use some paper towel to get the grime off of it. To be honest, I don't think anyone would eat any of our processed meat if they saw how it was done.
Don't play it down. If the average person,
if they saw it done, they'd be like, "I ain't eating that." But you're like, well, we got no other choice. This is the way we've got to do it. We've got to do it on a lifetime table, a little trestle table like the one that we've got in front of us.
Yeah.
And, the thing's just grotty by the end of it. There's hair in it. And you're like, cool, you know.
That's the biggest sort of struggle, I think, is keeping hair out.
Especially on goats. Goats are ridiculous for it.
That's why we had to put the rule in place that Ryan has to keep his pants on because those pubes are just out of control.
Shit.
We should ask.
I always clean the meat when I get home.
Yeah, I always sponge it down.
I always give it a bit of a rinse off and
I'd hope so.
I don't put water.
A rinse and a dab.
Paper towel.
So you don't put any warties on it?
No warties. Oh, it is taking off. Oh, it is.
I'm talking about actual water.
Oh, no warties.
No, I always give it a rinse and a dab and a clean off and a bit of an extra trim and process different cuts.
Yeah.
It is satisfying though when you cut it up and you're like, this actually looks like food now.
Yeah.
Canvas are more bone in.
Yeah.
Steaks with bone in.
I will buy a bandsaw this year. So I got a very good grinder last year from MBL in
off Churchill Road, whatever that is.
Yeah, somewhere. And it was $600, man, and the thing is sick. It is. Yeah, it's made life so much easier.
A grinder.
Yeah, like a 24-volt grinder.
It's an app.
Yeah.
Makes life really easy.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to work out how you use a grinder. Grinder
at the
to
touch
what?
of a button with the grinder app, you can get meat delivered.
Yeah, wet meat.
Wet meat delivered to your mouth.
You're not talking about a slipper.
Hey?
What?
Using a grinder. What are you using the grinder for?
Mince? Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Mincer.
Yeah, sorry. I was thinking.
Not
Yeah, I was thinking a grinder. I'm like,
Sorry,
what the fuck are you
mincer.
using an angle grinder for?
Yeah, grinder. Oh,
Okay.
Wow.
Mincer. Yeah, that took a dive.
Yeah.
But yeah, real good actually. I highly rate it. So I will buy a bandsaw off them this year, so we can do more bone in.
That's something I want to do up here is get set up better to do that shit.
No,
Got the space for it.
You should just go hunting. Like, let's
Let's
set that as your low bar. Just actually go hunting.
I'm gonna, yeah. Eventually, I'll get there.
Until we go up there.
Yeah, well, I missed something.
Then we'll peer pressure him into actually doing it.
I just want to be there for you to take a nice red.
Actually. It'd be nice to be there for your first red.
Well, that's why I'm waiting.
I actually dislike not going out with you last year, Caleb, the day that you got your red, especially after the effort that we put in for a red prior. I really, really, really regret not watching you, and I don't want to make the same mistake with Shannon.
Yeah, I agree. I would have liked to have you there. I would have liked to have you both there because it wouldn't have been so hard to fucking process. Lug it around the place.
That's the only reason.
But also, we can blame Shannon for having your keys in his pocket.
We can.
Because I did call you and you're like, I can't get to you.
Yeah, whoops. No, now you feel better about doing it yourself, really.
Look, and it's bittersweet because I actually loved the fact that I got that red without you there. Because it's like, well, that was all on me.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, but that fence line was all on you. You just had to follow the fence line.
That hard left was a real tough decision.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know. I like sharing the experience.
It is.
To be honest,
it is awesome.
I really do. And it's this odd thing as well, especially if you're trophy hunting. And I've thought about this recently. Because it's that whole theory of someone may get a bigger buck than you and this and that. But when you break it down, I'm like, I don't care about that. I'd just rather see everyone happy and share that moment, of their success and their joy.
It is cool to be there with your mates, to experience that jointly.
Yeah.
There is a tiny portion of you that's like, fuck you, you bastard. I wish I got that. But
yeah,
pretty much how I felt during Cody's the whole time.
But do you know what, though? Like, you're just happy because, it'll all come around and one day it'll be your turn and the other guys will pitch in and help you out. And it's just, I don't know, it's pretty sick, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
So come up to Queensland. Let's go hunt.
Yeah, let's do it.
He's waiting for us. He needs us that old, isn't he?
He does.
Well, no, like when you're used to, like, I guess I've pretty much done all my hunting with you two, really. So to go out by yourself, you're like, it's a little demotivating.
It is weird.
It's not the same.
Yeah, I agree.
So I guess that's probably one thing I've sort of noticed. But yeah, I'll get there.
I have to admit, I did a solo trip last year and it was terrible. I'm like, I'm so bored.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've got to drink my Jack Daniels by myself. This is sick.
Yeah, what do I do now? I might as well sleep.
That's exactly what I did. I was like, oh, I'm going to bed. This sucks.
Yeah.
Then you wake up, no one's there to like know that you slept in, so you're like, fuck it.
Yeah, you get back and you're like, I was up at 4:30. I'm like, nope.
You wake up at 8:30.
Oh, dear.
Well,
shit.
That's good. I'm keen for the next one.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We need to make it happen. We just need to make it happen. No excuses. I've got an idea.
What?
Let's just all leave our lives behind. We'll meet in one spot and we'll wet some meat.
Just like old times.
Sounds like a plan. Just do it. This is like the old Josh back. Just go. Just do it.
Actually, one of my best times was that hunt we did in Vic, and we ended up doing half of the Great Ocean Road.
That was, we did like just hopped along the few spots.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was where I ripped my pants and I had to replace them.
Yeah.
And
you bought subpar pants again, but that's right.
No,
He's got the same one still.
They're subpar.
Yeah. No, they're not.
Whatever, Mr. QU.
Thomas Almond's fine.
Actually, you went on Q. What's that other brand before you went to QU?
Numa.
Numa. The ones that fell apart.
Oh, they had like
the grippy,
the grip stuff on the knees and the glue'd come off. Yeah, but the pants are amazing. And the camo works. Yes, you're on your knees, crawling, hunting, yeah. To wet me.
Yes, the camo did work though. We tested that on. No, we didn't test it. We just observed it.
Yeah.
When you were chucking out bait.
Chucking out bait?
Or was that your QU? No, we were at Blackrock.
No, that would have been Numa.
Yeah. And just the dry, deserty sort of pants, it was a blend right in.
Yeah, the Numa was better for desert. The QU was very much green.
It's practically a floating Dorito chip.
QU do other colours.
QU do.
QU do. Baby shark do.
Don't you get
No.
Mate, you wait till your kid gets a bit older and she starts getting into all that sort of crap, man, like repetitive songs and children's TV shows and stuff.
Right. She's there. She loves it.
I make my two watch Alone with me at the moment.
You make them.
I have a feeling they'll enjoy it though.
They do. They actually like, Dad, we like this. I'm like, cool, because that's what we're watching.
They're sitting there like making fires and shit at school.
Fucking bitch and moan to start with, and then they get into it. So I'm like, see, it's good. And
it's like when the missus wants you to watch Married at First Sight. You're like, no. Then you get into it. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there.
No.
I resisted for a few seasons, and then I got sucked in. But this current season, man, it's a joke. Like,
how do you not nod off, man? If my missus put something on the TV that I'm not into, I'm just like, well, I'm going to bed.
It's nice seeing other people's lives just being a train wreck.
It is, yeah, just to be...
It is. It's junk. Absolute junk. But this year you can tell there's like paid actors, even more so than previous years. It's really obvious.
Paid actors?
Yeah.
What?
It's all. It's
like genuine people on there. But then there's this one particular couple on this current season. You're just like, they are paid actors. They are not legitimately on this show.
Okay.
And the thing is now, like, they're not doing their proper like background checks. So people are on the show, like two different couples have met each other or dated each other previously to being matched.
Oh.
So I don't know if it's just the world of online dating apps where people are linking up more obscurely and more often. But yeah, like it's a bit, this season feels like a bit of a joke.
Okay.
So
I think
maybe they're just stretching.
There's like real forced narratives, and you're like, it's like they're getting lazy. The producers are getting lazy. Like, here's the formula. We'll just roll it out again. But it's like, I don't know. Whatever.
This is where they just need to stop.
It's an easy watch with the Dal on the couch for a bit of a. We turn into the judges people watching that show.
Oh, that's not surprising.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not surprising. It'd be like, Gah!
It's good fun, though. Anyway, we've waffled for a while. We should probably get into another round.
I'm going to need my warm brewski.
You need some more
warm
waties?
waties.
All right. Well, I'm on the cusp of needing a urination. So
we have a quick five.
Quick five. And then when we return, we will get into the second time round of Shoot from the Hip, which I feel like our first week was a success.
It was. Actually, on that, I do have two guest suggestions.
Two.
Well,
you both know them.
One question, bro.
You both know them. Yes.
Cool. All right. Well, let's pause for five. Come back on the other side of this. Shoot from the Hip number 2. Oh, that was good. That was a solid piss.
Yeah, I've got a piss.
You're a clown. We just asked if you needed to go again.
Spent the whole toilet break.
During that intermission, we're like, Josh, you need to go? 50-50.
Yeah.
We'll go if you need to. That's right. I'll just bounce. I'll just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Anyway, we're
Have
back.
fun with the child when she grows up, Josh.
I'm having, not going to say that in a sentence around you two.
What?
I was going to say I'm having fun with her now, but that sounds creepy.
Yeah, that sounds really bad. Explains your childhood, Josh.
He wasn't allowed to go to the toilet. He was in nappies till he was 10.
And a half.
Yeah. Well, the half's important.
Yes.
Once you hit 10, you start doing those real big nards.
Right. They've been wanting to do like monthly age celebrations. I'm like, no.
What?
That's not happening. Yeah.
Oh,
Like
okay.
6 months.
Like that.
Oh, let's have a celebration. I'm like, nope. I ain't doing this.
No.
Yeah, I ain't doing this.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
That and people saying their child is 36 months old or
Yeah.
like past
Whilst
8.
they're still breastfeeding. Yeah. Your kid's 4.
Once it reaches 12 months, it becomes a year, and then maybe a year and a half, then 2.
It's more after 18 months you stop, pretty much.
No. I don't care what you do.
Because there's a lot of milestones in between 1 and 1.5.
I'd agree. I
So
think.
after 18 months, cut it out. It's nearly 2, and then you're 2, and then you're 3, and then you're 4.
Yeah.
48 months. Fuck off.
Your kid is 4. 4. And she's drinking out of the tit. You're like, I'm out.
I think they try and justify it still being a baby, though. That's probably how they do it.
There's probably
He's calling
a
it
little
by
bit of
months.
that. Yeah, probably a little bit of that.
That, and when the child runs up to you and sticks his head under your shirt and tries ripping your bra off to suck a nipple, maybe it's time to fucking wean it off.
Yeah. We all know someone. We all know someone.
We've all witnessed it, and it's just fucking awkward.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. It's inappropriate.
If you're out there listening, there's no justification.
No.
It's your own insecurity, or it's the mother's issue at that point.
Yeah.
For not doing anything about it.
But it'd be like having like a never-ending Big M. Or something like that, where you can just go for a
Dare iced
drink.
coffee.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, just,
Have you tried breast milk since your
no, I haven't. No.
childhood?
No, but I'm like, as a
does.
child, it would be like a never-ending drink, wouldn't it? You could just sort of just tap it whenever you want.
You're telling the
That
story.
sounds real bad.
Notice he went to Big M too. Like he's just gone to his Victorian roots.
Yeah.
Big M.
Ditch the dare.
Well, I'm like, it's not chocolate. It's not coffee. It's chocolate. But I don't know.
Oh, have you been doing a few push-ups and stuff?
Nope.
Ah. I don't know if it's a weird.
No, he's put a
Background
filter.
thing.
He's put a filter on.
Okay.
No.
You're going a bit jacked there, mate.
That's a wrestling cattle.
Turn it up. Is that all that halter training you've been doing?
Yeah.
Your missus has been halter training you too.
He's
I
not
think.
near a shop to be able to buy dare iced coffees and drink 6 litres of milk a day.
I'll still have a few days.
I bet you do when you're on the road.
Yeah.
2 for 1.
It's like a
I don't need it.
Actually,
dares and Denny's.
I was at the servo yesterday and a guy rolled in. He pulled in, stopped at the Bowser, didn't fill up, just walked straight in the shop. And I'm just like, there's no fucking car park. Anyway, I
Best
finished.
place to park.
I finished. Well, it is. Fair play to him. I finished filling up, went in, stood behind him in line. And all he did was buy 2 dare iced coffees. And I'm like, this reminds me of Couchy.
You had like a tear dropped in you.
He was in his work boots. He stunk a little bit. I was like, it's like old times. Gorilla hands. He's holding 2 dares in one hand.
You can't do that?
I can't say I've tried. I've never purchased 2 dares in my life at once.
They're always on special for 2. You got to buy 2, otherwise you're paying almost the same price for 1.
But you're paying for it in your health.
It's an investment.
In body fat
Yeah.
for going on alone.
Actually, I haven't had dares. Oh, actually, no, I had a dare then with some Kahlua. So, yes, I did.
Kahlua?
Yeah, it's
Don't knock
like
it,
this.
bro. It's
Adding
nice.
alcohol to your... Look, I'm sure it
Irish
tastes nice.
whiskey, bruh, is a thing.
I do not doubt it tastes good. But you get a
No,
little
but
bit
just then, like at the start of this potty, I had it.
fancy.
Not during the day at work.
And now you're drinking a beer. That I could not imagine following a milk drink with a beer. Look, you are a novice
don't-
beer drinker, so
You just have to view. You don't have to imagine.
I can't imagine having a guts full of milk and then drinking beer, man.
Now I want to drink some Baileys. Dang it.
Baileys are good.
Anyway,
Are we going to get into this?
we're waffling now.
We're waffling.
We are. All right. So let's do it again. Last week was a great success. We enjoyed ourselves. We hope you did too. The first running of Shoot from the Hip. Let's do it again. Who wants to go first?
Catchy.
Ooh. All right, I'll go first. Is social media good or bad for hunting?
Good or bad for hunting? So, while you're hunting,
he's come up with this topic because our group chat at the moment is like off its head with Susan Close at the meeting that they've just had.
Actually, no, I haven't. So I haven't really kept up with that group chat.
Yeah, I mute that one.
I quickly, I drop in, drop out just to like get rid of notifications.
Yeah. Sorry to anyone who knows we're in that, but I mute that thing because it just pops off all. Good on them. Yeah. But I have to mute that because it just goes on all day.
I'm just the Queenslander now, so it doesn't relate to me.
Yeah, I'd like 22 messages whilst I'm trying to work. I'm like...
Anyway, stop stalling.
That's why I mute it, because it's just too much to deal with.
Mm.
Look, it's a good thing. It's a double-edged sword. Okay, there's good and bad.
Is it bad for hunting? That was a question?
Good or bad?
Good or bad?
I think it's a double-edged sword.
How so? Like, digress into it.
So you can get the hillbillies out there. And look, we've all been there and we've all been too opinionated on these sort of platforms, too aggressive, sometimes too sarcastic too, especially in the questions if a greenie jumps onto a comment or something like that. A lot of guys troll, and it's not a good look.
Troll.
I think he means troll.
He's trolling.
So I think that's where the bad can come in, and obviously photos and videos can be not tasteful if you're not careful, and I think that can be a bad image. Although it depicts it for what it is, not everybody is desensitized like hunters, and other people. So I think in that aspect it can be good and bad. I don't think that there's enough good portrayed in hunting, and that is food. The reward out of it, the food, the enjoyment.
So it should be more like field to plate kind of videos rather than just shoot and kill.
Or even if there's like the whole still photo of the kill and, some smiles and hand shandies, maybe chuck one up of your family eating it at the dinner table, that meat. Be like, well, and I think that's missed. We harp on, or a lot of social media platforms harp on about the field to plate thing, but it's done very scripted, and there's like this nice, neat plate in front of this perfectly well manicured kitchen, dressed all nice and neat and looks pretty. But that's not capturing the essence of enjoying that plate. Like the Camel Saturday, like I'm looking around at the dining table, and there's six people that are just laughing, having fun, little bit apprehensive because they don't know what they were getting into at the start. But after the first mouthful, they're like, "Oh, this is delicious," holding into it. The laughs, the drinks after or during, that side of it, that togetherness. Meat Eaters did do it once when he had, once again, that was very manicured. He did it on one of his shows, and he got a bunch of his friends around and he served them wild game dishes. That was very, it doesn't have to be that prim and proper. And it's definitely not that well laid out at our house. There's clutter and there's, a lot going on and a kid running around too. So you're sort of like, okay, but that's the enjoyment out of it. And for me as a hunter, like that's the part that's the end goal that I want, is to bring that.
Well, it shows you're utilising a resource rather than just showing you're shooting.
Once again, that's a very PC way of putting it. Oh, we're utilising the animal. No, we're not. We're not just utilising it. We're together. We're having fellowship. We're bonding. You know, all the rest of it that plate brings. And yes, we're utilising the animal. Unfortunately, this camel wasn't completely utilised. That's my bad. Sorry. Yeah, whatever. But you know, that's the part of it for me. That's the good side. That doesn't get portrayed enough as raw as that. It really doesn't.
It's hard to convey that in videos and photos alone. Like, you'd love to be able to take everyone along for that experience firsthand.
From start to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the social media platforms don't like to show all the blood and guts and the whole scenario, and a lot of hunting channels get shadow banned and all that sort of piss. But I don't know. Is it good or bad? Well, I don't know. It's whatever you want to make of it. Like, there's a lot of people out there that have social media, but they don't see any hunting content because it's not what they seek out. You might stumble across something accidentally, and let's be honest, we all stumble across random stuff and go down rabbit holes. But how many people out there don't know any other hunters, never hunt themselves, find themselves stumbling across hunting content on social media? I don't know there'd be a heck of a lot. But then again, I'm already entrenched in that world, so my algorithm is just rife with it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It'd be nice to get someone who's completely outside of that world, doesn't know anyone, doesn't do it themselves, doesn't follow any channels.
Maybe even it would be nice to either have someone that's not formulated opinion on it, but also formulated opinion against it. It'd be nice to and look, we're not real PC, and that would be a tall ask for someone to come onto the podcast and do that. But it would be nice. You know, I think we'd all be able to be professional and polite and not get our backs up at their argument. But I don't think that can be done in just a conversation. I think you've hit the nail on the head, Caleb. Like, it'd be nice to take these people from way to go.
Yeah,
you know,
like the average person is reasonably open-minded. Like, unless you've already formed the negative argument against hunting for whatever closed-minded reason that you have, most people are generally fairly open-minded if you educate them in the how and the why of the whole process. Because most people just have something fed to them via social media, via the news media, whatever. There's a narrative that hunters are just, you know, redneck idiots who just blaze away and waste meat. And
I think as well,
you know,
the fact of the matter is they don't have to leave being persuaded, and we don't have to leave being persuaded about their way they live. Like, you know, we can have a conversation and be like, oh, I'm still not into it. Well, cool.
Hunting's never going to be for everyone. Like, I understand that. So I'm not trying to force it on everyone that they have to be a hunter.
I think you don't think you want it for everyone either. Because if everyone was hunting, you'd have no spots to hunt.
I like that. Not everyone does it. Like, I like being a little bit exclusive, and I like a pursuit that gives me the satisfaction it does. Like, it feels primal, it feels manly, it feels good, it feels great sharing that time with other people who are similar to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, social media, is it good or bad for it? I don't know. It's probably whatever you want to make of it, really. While you're hunting, social media can be nice as a way of staying in contact.
Oh, yeah.
Or while you're out on a hunt. If you've got a slow hunt, you're bored, scroll on a bit of social media. This is a different take on this.
There's always a deer that walks out when you're scrolling.
100%.
You start scrolling, something happens.
Scroll at your own peril, because who knows what you're missing while you're looking at your phone.
Hasn't that happened to you when messages have been sent and you're like, oh, I've just missed something because I'm reading a message from one of us? I'm pretty sure that has.
Well, yeah, there's probably something. Sure.
Oh, I'm sure. Like,
you're referencing a certain particular moment.
Yeah, it was like not last year, maybe last year, if not the year before, we were out, and I'm pretty sure you were messaging, and I think in the chat, Caleb's come back with, I just read your message and looked up, and there was a deer.
Yes, I remember that.
Oh,
I think that was when you both saw the reds, and you got your red, Josh. That was
it could have been
ago,
before he came to me. Actually, I can't remember.
There's plenty of times, but look, that's not social.
Anyway.
That's not social media as such. It's just us communicating to each other.
Well, it was through social.
Yeah.
It was.
It
was through Messenger.
Yeah, but sitting there scrolling, sometimes it's nice. When
stretching.
you've got a bit of a slow time, but also it's a good way of staying connected, seeing what's going on out there. Like information, it is. As a hunter, it is nice to see what other people are doing.
Oh, it's a good motivator.
To be honest, keeping up with the technology that's going down, like these rock stocks, I've been following Unknown Munitions lately, and they've partnered up with a crew that are doing this rock stock. Right, it like when you think that firearms have met their maturity, and then they're building this stock with the buttstock higher center bore line, and they've got a negative comb on it. So when you actually look in the science behind the gun, you're like, oh, wow. So when it recoils, because of the negative comb, it's pushing off your face, so you have no impact from your cheek. And if you're dealing with a light hunting rifle,
it looks funky,
like a mountain hunt. It does. If you're dealing with a light hunting rifle, these things can help dramatically. They've even got like a certain angle on their pistol grip. Like the whole science behind it is amazing, man. And even so, they got fed up because they were doing orders either with Arca, with Spartan, or with Pick Rail, and they were like, you know what, it's getting too convoluted. So guess what? We're going to make a tri-mount that does all three, and that's going to be the standard order. But the fact that they've gone, wow, there's 3 different mounting platforms that are common for bipods, we'll make one mount and just put it standard on all our guns. Sick. Honestly, they are, to me, that is just like pushing tech driven by backpack hunters that are just solid dudes that know their shit.
And just to put like a 3-way mount in one mount shows that you're not trying to profit off just options.
Yeah.
You're trying to just get something out there that's one, easy to deal with because you don't have to deal with less SKUs.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can just have the customer use whatever they want.
Yeah. None of them are it, Caleb.
What?
None of them are it.
No, I'm looking at something completely unrelated, so just ignore what I'm Googling.
So it's, to me, I'm like that. Pornhub, man. Yeah, that aspect of like social media is amazing. Like, because it keeps you up.
Keeps you in the loop.
With everything that's going on. And in fact, one of our mates has the very first rock stock in the country, and I'm going to finger blast it as soon as I can. So very keen. Very, very keen. Very excited. I'm frothing at the nuggets.
Yeah, it's not taking off, mate.
So anyway, so that's more sort of like
your take.
I don't know.
Quick Soldiers 20.
It's not. It's. I don't think it's good or bad. I think it's pretty neutral. It's just whatever you want to make of it, whatever you want to access, whatever you want to lean in on.
Well, it was a boring.
What do you mean boring?
Did you have? Do you have a little pointy point to make, or what? In regards to that.
No, not really, because we weren't intending to make a point of our own with these topics. So,
is it good or bad?
Double-edged
sword. Cool.
Agreed.
Done.
Moving on.
It's like a circle.
Well, you were first last week, so I think it should be last this week.
I feel like, so before I'll say as well, I feel like if listeners do want to chime in and give their opinions on the topics, let us know.
Keep it to yourselves. I don't want to hear. Nah, just kidding.
Fuck the
direct message Josh. And yeah,
message Josh personally.
And I'll get back to it my first available Opportunity.
In 5 to 7 business years.
All right. Well, I'm going to go second. As I said, you were first last week, so I'll go second.
You like sloppy seconds?
Moving on. So I'm just going to chuck a phrase out there. So interpret as you will. Pass the buck.
Give us $1.
Fucking hell, Josh.
Give us $1, bro.
Oh, very good. Well played. Pass the buck. Give us
Pass the
$1.
buck.
Go like however you want to do it. However you want to skin this thing. Pass the buck.
All right, I guess I got one way, like pass the buck. So my first sort of fellow was decent. Well, wasn't an amazing fellow, but he was decent for the first one. But during that walk early on, I passed up a spiker buck, just because I didn't want that to be my first buck. So I kept walking, let him go, passed up the buck. Then that's when us three had a trio shoot, not you, Caleb, because you weren't there. But it was Haydos. So that was a memory that I'll never forget, but that was pass the buck. Passing up an option to hopefully get a better one.
You literally passed a buck.
Literally passed the buck.
You also passed up a fox.
Yes, I did. And then luckily Hayden didn't shoot at that fox, or was that yourself? Because that's when them 3 bucks walked out like 200 meters to the left of us.
I think it was Hayden.
Yeah.
That was actually a pretty cool cohort shoot.
That was,
I don't know
just
how we
after
pulled
your
it off.
spasm.
Yeah.
And I can barely remember more, like there's one and a bit shot like that I could we did it, to be honest, flawlessly. Like we've co-award shot before. Never done it with Hayden. But usuave it doesn't happen that smoothly.
No, not at all. Someone's jumping the go.
Yeah. It's always you though. I've tried it a few times with you and you're always like that.
Yeah.
A quarter of a second too quick.
It's because I'm already taking up that trigger pressure. So I'm at that point where I know it's like as soon as you say gut or like what, like for one or whatever.
What?
Like, that's it. It's going. Like you go 3, 2, 1, or you go.
You don't go. You go 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay,
Not 3, 2,
on the
1.
gut. On the gut, I'm like that's what I'm listening for. And
I reckon your adrenaline is through the roof after that one, and you're like waiting, but it's only been a fraction of a second, and you think you've waited like a second and a half. You're like, "Why's no one shooting?" Oh shoot!
No,
100%.
That's all it is. I'm just taking the pressure up, and I'm just waiting for that syllable, and just
yeah. How's that digression though? Passing the buck back onto that.
Well, I thought there's a few ways you can look at pass the buck. You can look at the actual phrase, what that means. Blaming someone else. Pass the buck.
Initially, that's all I've got so far.
Yeah.
Pass the buck.
Pass a literal buck. What about you, Josh?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, pass me $1, please.
Come on, man.
Come on. Like, you got to thrash this out a little bit more.
Thrash it out.
Jesus. It's not going to work.
Pass me $1. Free money.
You're going to pass. You said you're going to pass the buck. Look, I'd go the same route as Shannon, to be honest. Passing up.
What is this?
Or passing up an opportunity for
Don't piggyback.
For another opportunity.
Don't piggyback.
Yeah.
I was thinking, you know how when like there's always something to do in the camp, and it's got to be done.
Oh yeah, cooking dinners. You're passing the buck, mate.
100%. You got to know how to do it, but you got to look busy prior to that coming about. So
no, I love it when we're all just sitting there, and it's like we all know that we need to start cooking and eating, but everyone is avoiding it, and you're like,
yeah,
if I don't do this or instigate something, it's never going to get done.
Or it just ends up being a procession of snacks. Like,
yes,
I'll just fill up on snacks.
That's the alert.
I don't want to kick. I don't want to cook. Just get a bag of chips out. Oh,
you start telling yourself how not hungry you are.
Jerky, anyone?
Couchies is his Deros coffee. When that comes out, it's like, yep, Couch is hungry.
It's a meal. Yeah, there's a lot of
That's
avoidance
like
of the
every
task.
trip, every night.
You got to pass the buck on the cooking because Josh loves his cooking. I just want to let him sort of live his dreams.
Actually, that reminds me of a hunt we did at ADA. Like Jacob started cooking his train smash, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to do my burritos. And you said you had dinner for yourself, and you started just cooking unseasoned red fallow deer medallions. And I'm like, that looks terrible. It looks like there's no flavour in there. And you tried to palm some off to me. You did. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm just going to eat my burrito.
What are you talking about? He's never cooked in his life.
No, he did. All he did was he's put it in a pan with some oil. I'm like, that's good effort. Good effort.
I cannot recall that.
Oh dear, it was hilarious.
I don't recall that. I don't think that was me.
Yeah, it was. It was you, me.
Because I would salt the fuck out of it if it was me.
It was you, me, and Jacob. Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon there was a hunt you did before the one the three of us did where Josh got a red. It was before that. Same property, different property.
Nah, different property. It was. I can't remember.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
Either way. All right, well, it sounds like we're not milking any more out of that one.
No, I don't think we can.
Fail. All right, well, what's yours, Josh?
Let's just pass the buck on that.
Yeah, we'll pass the buck.
Okay. I got one. Your thoughts on this is way off of hunting, but your thoughts on the Chinese ships that are off the coast of Northern Australia.
Oh, they're still there. I haven't heard that.
I know nothing about this.
And the how do I put this? Aggressive moves of one of the fighter pilots from China popping flares over a commercial airline.
Well, I'll give you what my initial thoughts on that was. So, from what I seen and what I read on it, was our Australian pilot got too close to the Chinese airspace, and they actually got literally too close to the airspace. So that flare popping was a warning because we legitimately overstepped our boundaries.
Okay.
Or got quite close. So I think that was probably irresponsible in the way they did it, just due to the fact of the plane that was flying there wasn't a combat jet. So they shouldn't need to react that way.
Mm.
The ships, I think, are in retaliation. I just didn't know that the ships were still here. They were saying that they were observing or doing a training run or something off the east coast of Queensland. They're still in international waters, not in Australian waters, but they're quite close. And there's three of them, and one of the actual ships are the most. Certain ship is the most armed battleship in the world. So it's not like they've just got their frigates or just small little ships out on the east coast. They've got their fighting ships. Mm-hmm. So it'd be interesting to see where that goes. And they're saying that they did this just before the last election as well in Australia. So it's their way of reminding them, whoever they got under their thumb, to play ball. So that's what has been speculated as well, which makes sense if they got people that are sort of bought out by China. Then they just want a friendly reminder of who they're dealing with, so that our politicians that are probably bought out, which is probably most of them, do what they're told.
See, I want to chime in my 2 cents.
Yeah, of course.
Caleb's Googling.
No, because I haven't even heard about this. So
we're too busy watching Married at First Sight.
Well, correct. I've not absorbed any news in the last few days. Bullshit. We're recording this on the 27th of February, by the way.
How about you start
just for context,
watching stuff that matters at nights instead of trash that rots your brain?
Oh, mate.
The last time I absorbed this was probably 2 weeks ago.
Well, that's what I'm just looking at. Like,
just happened.
They've been hanging around for a while. There's like, you Google this and there's news stories from a week ago. Chinese warships sail within 150 nautical miles of Sydney. And you've got stuff like 9 hours ago. Defense Minister urges calm over Chinese warships episode as they travel west. China ships near Australia. Challenges in the South Sea. Get used to it. Chinese warships tracked heading closer to Tasmania.
Is it the media blowing something up though?
China has committed no crimes by doing this. Like, what the fuck?
Like, they're fine to go international water, so it's like I don't see an issue with that. They made it sound like that it parked up just on the outside of our Australian waters and was waiting there. But then, from what you were saying there, it's travelling east or west or whichever way it's going.
I mean, look, I'm sure no country wants another country flexing,
especially China.
Yeah, but if they're
anywhere near them,
if they're in like no man's land and they're running drills, cool. We do the same thing.
I mean,
so go do it.
Naturally, wouldn't you rather conduct your trials closer to another country than your own?
Well, I feel like a ship's trial in itself would be to travel long distances.
Well,
to be honest,
yeah,
and in certain oceans, currents, etc., etc. I mean, minor stuff, but hey, you'd still want to see that capability, see how your men do, especially on long hauls. So there's a whole heap to it, and I'm like, I actually thought the plane pop and flare things, like if I was doing like routine patrols in a fighter jet every day, I'd be like getting pretty bored. If I saw someone close to my airspace, I'd be like, you know what, I'm bored. I'm going to tear it up.
Hang on.
So the biggest complaint was that if a flare, the jet popped flares, which it did, in front of about 30 meters from the aircraft, if the engine sucked in a flare, it would have destroyed the engine. So you're throwing people's lives at risk just to...
Oh, yeah, but I'm still a bored pilot that wants to do dumb stuff.
So
yeah,
I'm frantically reading because I have literally no idea about any of this. But in regards to the live fire exercises, if they were illegal, why were Australia and New Zealand upset? The Australian Defence Minister was critical of the short notice China gave both countries of its intention to use live rounds of ammunition. Standard protocol is to provide between 12 to 24 hours notice. This allows enough time to warn other ships in the area and for airlines to divert their flights. However, because the exercises took place in the high seas, the protocol is more ambiguous. This became the key point of differentiation with China. They basically argued that its warships are under no illegal obligation to tell anyone what they're doing in high seas.
I feel that's fair.
Their defence minister said China's actions were in full compliance with international law and international practices and will not affect aviation flight safety. But I think it's just a case of bit too close to home.
See, I don't think it's a flex at all or anything like that. I mean, it might be just a happy coincidence, but I think China's very good at the long game. So they're very good at thinking, even 50 years ahead these days. Like,
sleeper cells.
Very, very, very good at it. And look, their mindset, in my opinion, is we're going to achieve world domination via
population,
economy, and things like that.
They've switched their tactic now. As far as I know, that China have moved away from manufacturing as a primary focus, and they've moved, I think, 12 months ago to a military focus.
See, I wonder if that's just because they get the whole Taiwan. They're going to take Taiwan. And
I'm waiting for something to happen there. Yeah.
It may be just like, all right, they're running drills because the rest of the world's going to be like kicking up arms if they take Taiwan. But let's face it, they're probably going to, and they may be running these drills just to be like, hey, we're here, we're going to take Taiwan, but we've already got assets in your area, and that's understandable with the backlash that China gets from the rest of the world. Good or bad, right or wrong, I don't know. I'm not smart enough. I don't know enough about it. I don't know. But,
Well, with the amount of fuckery that sort of media do and the governments do, like, you can't really believe exactly
This is why I've stopped. This is why I've stopped looking at the news. Like,
are we just trying to
believe?
And
is Australian media trying to just label China in a certain way so it justifies an action that we want to do anyway?
Could be.
I'd be more worried about them mining all our data at this point than these.
They've already done that, man.
Yeah.
They already know everything.
Did we talk about the fact that they can use their Wi-Fi signals to map out your house.
So has that tech come into play yet? I know it was developed by DARPA about 5 years ago is when I saw read the first article, but so they've obviously been working at it for a while, but how good is that tech?
Well, don't know. I haven't got it myself.
Because it's using modems as such as what's it called? Sonar, isn't it?
I think it's utilising because you've got your phone in your pocket when you're walking around your house. So it shows the map of your phone where it's been. So you can map your house simply under that as well. But also just the signals as well. I'm pretty sure it's just a strength of signal. Yeah, can show how many walls it's going through and stuff like that as well. So
that's what I thought it was. It was like a signal from a router or something, and it was showing the I don't know what you call it, interference from walls and mapping a house.
It's a combination of everything because you got phone, iPads, then you got your fridges, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi now, other stuff in your kitchen and around your house that utilize Wi-Fi to do things.
That's pretty smart, isn't it? To be honest, man, that's outstandingly smart.
Like, who gives a crap about mapping your civilian house? But if they want to work out a floor plan of
military installation,
a military building or something,
anything, it'll just be the same.
That's kind of scary. See, that mixed in with what's it called? Not White Foss. Fusion. That's a scary tech, like night vision and thermal mixed. That's the best way to describe fusion.
Yeah.
That, and then if you can get like a mapping of a house, man, that is a huge capability.
If you could create a fusion that sees Wi-Fi, that you could visualize a Wi-Fi signal and showing how it doesn't penetrate through some areas or bounces around the body.
If that's the case, could you throw something with a signal from a device? So even say if you're going to a third world country where there's nothing inside to do it, could you throw a signal at that house to then do the same principle? It'd have to be a strong enough signal to map.
X-ray the house.
Yeah,
but not X-ray. Just
I'm
same.
Scanning stuff now that's saying they can use Wi-Fi signal to basically generate a holographic image of a whole room.
I wonder if that includes personnel in the room.
Yeah, because there's another thing saying about being able to see people through walls by bouncing signal around a room.
It's pretty crazy stuff,
Stray radiation from devices like routers or phones to generate a three-dimensional picture of the surroundings. Basically, each device acts as a light bulb of different color and lights up the environment. Due to the longer wavelength of microwave radiation compared to visible spectrum, the Wi-Fi signals can pass through many materials, making walls appear transparent, almost like glass. The title of this article is, Your Router's Wi-Fi Signal Can Be Used to Create a 3D Holographic Map of Your House.
So that was the whole thing about the Chinese vacuums, the little iRobot vacuum things that they're doing. Is they were actually pre-programmed to map your house.
Shit.
Well,
they map their house anyway because it's
they have to because then they know what to not.
But that's into. On a server and going to the manufacturer.
And everything is China, like
China.
Well, 90% of stuff is China, so it's smart.
We're all fucked.
If they're going to use it in the way that we suspect they could, then 100% that's a smart thing to do.
Yeah. It's kind of not that it would matter for us, but like Caleb said, if it was a government
points of interest,
you'd be like, okay, this is sort of
look like we said last week with our discussion on AI. There's going to be good and bad use.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be what did you say? The wickedizing. the wicked element of any sort of technology. Like the internet at a base level. Such a great way to communicate, but also people use it for nefarious purposes as well.
See, I wonder if it's got that diluted. I think we covered this last week, that people just can change things. So you go onto an established, reputable site and change it wirelessly, and then people are reading the wrong thing.
Wait, what?
Like Wikipedia. Like,
Yeah, but everyone knows that
now,
Wikipedia.
but what don't you know? On what sites? And also what media is generated by bots to believe and not to believe. I believed an article for a long time that I read about
anal gives you AIDS.
Santa Claus is real?
A farmer that killed some cattle rustlers. And I don't know what year it was. But anyway, I was talking to it about a person, and the farmer in this article wasn't charged. Anyway, one of the dudes that I was talking to is like, "Oh, this site's known for like fake media." I'm like, I didn't know that. I actually thought this was a real article.
You know, there was a guy, older fella in NT that went into, I think this is early 2000s, went into the police station to renew his permit to shoot Aboriginals. Because the permit back when he got it was lasted for 50 years. Because he was a station owner. Yeah. And they're like, what has he been doing in the last however many?
I reckon we brought this up briefly on the podcast.
Yeah, I think my first season I brought it up.
Yeah.
But
how believable is that? Like,
Well, it used to be a thing. Like, you literally used to be a permit because they were classed as flora and fauna. Well, fauna, but
flowers.
They were on the registry of fauna and a pest species. They weren't classed as humans.
Really?
Right.
I want to go down this rabbit hole. Not now.
Couchy's definitely embracing the Queensland culture.
No, this is
what sort of redneck fucking environment are you living in, mate?
Dude, I brought this up when I first started the podcast briefly.
You did. Why did we? I feel like we glossed over it then.
Does your heart go out to everyone?
I don't get that.
We're talking about
Elon Musk.
The
heart going out to everyone.
Yeah, good on him.
Glad we're not videoing right now because I'd be fucked.
Well, how about we dive into this next podcast, I reckon? We can delve into it.
All right. Sounds good. We'll do that.
So,
next time we do Shoot from the Hip, you can bring some discussion around that.
All right, we'll just do an initial start of the podcast chat. Unless someone's got a hunt or something to talk about.
Okay. Done deal.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. I'm enjoying Shoot from the Hip.
Yeah,
it is good.
Actually. Yeah,
Keeps it fresh.
Yeah.
And spicy and on our toes. Thinking on our feet. Bit of Googling to help, but it is required.
Yeah.
Well, stop watching crap, mindless TV shows.
I watch alone.
Yeah.
I'm watching a bit of Sopranos at the moment. Some good stuff, mate.
Bro, start being a 30-whatever-year-old you are and start taking a vested interest about what's going on in the world. You've always had a vested interest in it, mate.
I know, mate.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway.
You done?
Yeah, sorry. We had a moment just
Yes.
It'd be nice if you were here on the couch as well, mate. You could touch us too.
Well, there's only a 2-seater little couch, so I don't think I'd fit.
We'll make room.
It's intimate. Like, exactly. If you sit on this couch with us, we'll all be touching at all times.
Next time I'm back in Adelaide, we'll have to do another one.
What if we drive to Queensland for a hunt, we could always throw in the podcast.
I'll spend 2 days with you in the car.
Oh, you used to do one, just drive continuously.
Well, there's 2 of us.
Yeah.
We could.
It's doable. We'll be wrecked by the end of it.
Oh, yeah.
But Couchy will just have to make us dinner. Actually, no, I don't know if I want to eat his shit.
See, this is why I don't cook, because he just complains about everything.
No, his missus can cook. I've had her cooking before. It's all right.
Good cook.
You got to pick them. You got to pick them. You know, if they don't cook, if they don't do your washing, nah.
How's this
See
working?
ya. See you later.
I still do my own washing.
Look, yeah, I've been doing my washing lately.
Yeah.
All right.
Big talk.
Hey, look,
Big talker.
cook. You know,
I feel like the old Josh is coming back slightly. I've just sensed a few fucking
he's dead, mate.
key elements.
Old Josh passed away.
You're back on the sugars. That's what's going on.
No, sugars.
No, that's zero sugar.
Yeah. Just happy to talk to you losers, to be honest.
No, it is fun. We like doing it.
It is good.
Anyway.
Like, it's been nice having a break.
We're waxing lyrical now. We're wrapping this up. Fuck.
We always struggle on the wrap up.
The hardest part is leaving at the end of the night.
It is.
It is.
Fuck it.
But anyway, guys, I haven't said it in a while, so
You love us?
if
Yes.
anyone wants to get a hold of us, if anyone wants to get a hold of us, reach out on Instagram, Senate Mate Podcast. Give us a follow. Also, with these shoot from the hip topics, what, Caleb?
Can you say no like that again? No.
No, I don't even know what I said.
That's why I
Can
can't
someone-
believe you when I ask consent, because you're just like, no. But it sounds a little bit teasing, like you actually want it. No.
Someone needs to also send in some mic etiquette.
What?
Doctrine for kid, because he leaned forward and it's like, whoa.
Oh, you listen to the intro, what you did.
But that was for effect.
Yeah, but
that was for comedic effect.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, I had to talk over you guys because you didn't.
Oh, whatever. Fucking finish your fucking.
I don't even know where I was at. But yeah, if you want to send us an answer for the shoot from the hip topics, go for it, and we'll probably read them out. We'll read out some good ones. But yeah,
We may not as
that's
well.
all. That's all I got. That's all. We may not. We probably won't. But if it's good, we probably will. So there you go.
Give you a special
It's roll
mention.
dice.
Just be good.
Yeah.
Just suggest something good.
Just be better.
Yeah. Oh, there's that red, Josh.
Here's barred up.
Ooh. All right, let's get the fuck out of here and go to bed.
I don't want to go to bed.
Get out of my house. My missus is waiting for me in the other room.
Oh, coitus.
All right, guys. Gotcha.
Get you.
See you later, losers. G'day, dude and dudettes. Josh here. Do you find it hard to keep your long, hard barrels free from gun STDs? Maybe you need a clean out of your bore. If this is you, jump on over to highcaliber.com.au and use the promo code SENDITMATE to receive a 10% discount on all your gun cleaning needs. And remember, it's sexy to support Australian-made products. Everyone here at Send It Mate uses High Caliber, and we can promise you that it'll keep your firearms free from those pesky gun STDs.